Welcome back to Sledgehammer Horror, guys. I am Ken Sledge.
And I'm Ashley Sledge.
And let's talk horror.
So we're going to do our review on Terrifier 3.
This is going to be a spoiler review, but first we're going to give our positives, our negatives, and then we're going to spoil the film for you.
Yeah, so let's get into our positives. So I love the beginning, the graininess. It reminds me of like old Christmas movies that we would watch as kids. I thought that was really good.
Yeah. And the brutalness of this movie.
Yeah.
Like, we're going to get more into that into the
We'll
spoilers.
talk later about some shit, but...
This movie is the most brutal of any of the Terrifier films, for sure.
Which is saying something.
Yes.
Because do you remember someone getting cut in half by their crotch?
Yeah.
Yeah. Art as Santa is just epic.
So funny.
He does such a great job at bringing this clown alive, and then not only is he a clown, he's a clown that it doesn't talk, he's a mime, and he is Santa, and he nails it, and it's amazing.
There's a lot of references in this movie. Like, you get a Shining homage, you get a Black Christmas homage. There's so many different horror references throughout the movie, and I thought it was really just a sprinkle on top of the sundae.
Mm-hmm. And there's a lot of funniness to this movie, too. For example, Art sees Santa, and he meets Santa, and it is amazing. The faces he makes, and it's just... It captures you. It's awesome.
Yeah. And this really is a good representation of PTSD.
It is.
And what people can go through if they've experienced something really traumatic. So I thought that was very special, too.
A lot of people would really like to hear from you after all this time.
And there is a lot of cameos from great horror names.
Clint Howard,
Yep.
Tom Savini.
Tom Savini.
You get a lot of cameos
You
from
do.
people that are in the community that we all love so much.
Which I think is amazing that they all came out and, was a part of this.
Support an indie horror movie that's
Which
becoming
I
a
love that.
juggernaut.
Yeah.
So those are some of our positives of the film. Now we're going to get into some of our negatives of Terrifier 3.
So some of the negatives, there's a scene where a husband and wife are sleeping and the husband's getting hacked up and the wife doesn't even know this until he's been dead for like 45 years, it seems like. It's like, how do you not hear that? I literally hear if he makes any movement or farts or anything.
That's true, and it happens a lot. There's a very graphic self-harm scene in the film, so if self-harm is something that really bothers you, this one's pretty bad, and it happens to a lot of people.
Yeah.
So... kind of proceed with caution when it comes to that.
And then there is a lot of fade outs.
I hate fade outs.
Yeah, like sometimes fade outs, it just seems like
Laziness.
lazy writing. Yeah, like, oh, no, we can do without the fade outs.
Right. A different type of transition would work just
Yeah.
fine. We don't need a fade out and do a title card and then a fade back in and then a fade out into a title card and fade back in. And I'm not a fan of that either. And after the opening, like the first 10 minutes is balls to the wall. Then you got a pretty slow first act and start of the second act. They're all pretty slow, and you're like, all right, come on, this is a slasher. Let's get to some fucking slashing.
Yeah. So then it's just too long again because of this reason.
Just like
There's a lot
Terrifier
of-
2.
there-
It's just way too long.
There could have been things that were cut down for sure.
Yes.
And it still would have been a good movie.
Right. So those are some of our non-spoiler negatives. So if you guys haven't seen the film, we strongly recommend you go and check it out and then come back for our spoilers.
So now we're spoiling things, guys. And Terrifier 3 went there. In the first 5 minutes, they killed a kid. They literally killed a kid, and you could hear him in there just
Getting hacked
brutally killing this child. And you're like, what? Okay, you went there.
And then seeing the kid torn apart afterwards, like you see body parts of his laying everywhere.
see
You're
his
like,
little
damn.
head?
Like,
Yeah.
Damn. Yeah, he kills the kid, the mom, and the dad, and we don't know what happens to the sister.
Yeah,
So,
they didn't show that. So
The
maybe
sister was a
that'll
lot younger.
maybe that'll come back to play later on.
Right.
You never know. Terrifier 4,
Yeah.
you never know. Then we have Art walking around because obviously his head got chopped off in Terrifier 2. So he steals a somebody else's head. He takes a cop's head.
He just puts it on his body.
And he's walking around, and it looks really awesome.
Yeah.
It looks really cool.
Vicky and Art eating the nurse's body is fucking gross.
Oh my God.
And I was going to talk about it in the negatives, but I think, look, the character of Vicky is fine. I thought she was overused in this film. I thought that, they kind of even, for a lot of the film, put Art in the background to Vicky.
Yeah.
And I was not a fan of that. Look at, nothing wrong with Vicky, but where the fuck is the little pale girl?
Yeah, I thought for sure that they would have brought the little pale girl back. We want her. Come on.
Yeah.
Terrifier 4, bring the little pale girl back.
Justice for Amelie.
Yes.
We want the little pale girl back in Terrifier 4. I mean it.
And then you have Chris Jericho's death. It looked so good. He got to witness the eating of the nurse, and then his death. It was awesome.
They just made the list. We get some of Sienna's dad's backstory with him and her, and it's been teased in 2. It just got teased in 3. I'm really hoping we can get more of this backstory in Terrifier 4.
Yeah.
I'm really excited to see the direction they could go with this, because this could go in a lot of different directions. And I would love to finally get some closure on Sienna's dad's story.
Like, is he a good guy? Is he not a good guy? Like,
Right.
I really want to know what's up with Dad for sure. And then you have this very gross and brutal shower scene. You have these 2 kids, getting busy in the shower, and they get sawed they get chainsawed the hell up.
That one and the Santa scene are both very gnarly. The Santa scene where he kills Santa and the shower scene are both very long, very dragged out, and very awesome.
It literally so much blood that he makes a blood angel.
Yes.
Which is awesome.
Yes. And then there's another scene where they let Santa go on break at a mall, and Art goes up and starts handing out presents to the kids, one of them containing a bomb, which blows up and kills 3 kids, we find out, and puts 6 in critical condition.
You see the aftermath of some of these, mangled up kids. I was just like, you know what, we're just going there. Yeah. We're going there all out, which is awesome.
It was, a lot of kids died in this movie.
This is one thing that I don't like, and we couldn't put it in the negatives because it's a huge spoiler. And that is that Jonathan dies, and you literally don't see it. All you see is his skull. That's it. And Vicky says that he is dead.
Right. I am going to also be on the train of I don't think Jonathan's dead.
If he's really dead, I'm mad. I'm upset about that because
he deserved an on-screen death if he did die.
Yes.
Yeah.
And no.
I think it was just them trying to break her heart because they were trying to break her down. And you have nothing to live for, so let me take over your body.
You have her little cousin Gabby as well that was sucked down into hell. Yeah. So I'm assuming that's going to come, with Terrifier 4.
We know that Terrifier 4 has been announced.
Yes.
We know it's going to happen. And this movie definitely has a lot of loose ends they can tie up. Mm-hmm. And with us knowing that we're getting a sequel, the loose ends don't bother me at all. I'm very excited to see where the story goes from here.
Yeah.
But if Jonathan's really dead,
I'm going to be very mad.
I'll be pissed.
Because you can't just kill him off screen and then not talk about him again.
Right.
Like, he deserves better than that.
He does, especially with, I really think, because part of the thing is there's a demon that's come back and taken over Vicky. Vicky's no longer there. It's a demon inside of her.
Well, that's how Art is going on through this demon too. So.
Right. So she's trying to break Sienna down so she could take over her body and use her like she has been Vicky's. So I think that was just a ploy to be like, hey, look, you have nothing left to live for. Mm-hmm. Let us in. And it didn't work. So
I think so too. I'm hoping so.
Right.
I'm hoping so. Absolutely.
And if Jonathan is dead and was killed off screen, they better show it in graphic detail in Terrifier 4 so we know it's true. So I do want to thank you guys so much for watching. Overall, I'm going to give this a 3 out of 5.
I gave it a 3.5. It is my favorite in the franchise thus far. It was the most brutal. I loved the gore. Art was fantastic.
This was easily the best art that we've had. And like I said, for a lot of the movie, he was even pushed to the background. Mm-hmm. I would love to see Art be the main villain again in the next Terrifier film. Push Vic, unless you bring Amelie back. Give me the little pale girl. Yeah. Give me her backstory. I was really looking forward to getting more of her. But like I said, overall, it was brutal. It actually had a story. There was some feelings of emotion in the movie.
Yeah, for sure.
We got rid of the fantastical stuff that happened in
For the
Terrifier
most
2.
part. Yeah.
So yeah, like I said, it could have been shorter, and we could have gotten more Jonathan, figuring out what happened with him and Amelie. But we are going to have Terrifier 4, so we got plenty of time to figure it out. So if you haven't already, guys, like, comment, and subscribe. It does help build the channel more than you know. And follow Sledgehammer Horror on social media. Our links are in the description as well. And let us know in the comments, what are your thoughts on Terrifier 3? How do you rank the franchise? Because for me right now, it goes 3, 1, 2.
I'm the same, 3-1-2 as well.
So let us know in the comments how you rank the Terrifier franchise and what are your thoughts on Terrifier 3. But until next time, keep talking horror,
Stay who you are.
and we'll see you guys soon.
Bye, guys.